Sachi, welcome to the program.
Hey.
How did you get into theater?
When I was younger, I used to do church theater,
Mm-hmm.
and that just evolved into school theater, and that evolved into this.
Was it Crichton? So what was the first play you ever did?
At the Crighton or ever?
Anywhere. No, anywhere. First church play.
Oh, I can't even remember that. That was a really long time ago. I've been doing this since I was like 4 or 5, around there.
So you got a lot of plays on your belt. They run together after a while.
They really do. It's kind of like... So.
Do you do singing, or was it just a straight play at the time?
The first one?
Yeah.
It was a musical.
Okay, so how did you get into singing?
I've just always been singing.
Mm-hmm.
There are home videos of me just singing to my family.
Right.
Stealing the stage from my sister and brother,
Right.
of course. But, no, I've just been singing my whole life, so.
Is anyone else in your family musical?
Yes, my brother and sister are both very musical. We are all musically inclined.
Right.
So.
You all guys sing together, or?
Yeah, we do.
Really?
Yeah,
oh, that's kind of fun. Yeah.
We sing together, and they play their guitars.
Mm-hmm.
We just can have a little jam session.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of fun. Yeah, we've done that too with Michael and Carol and I. We were doing instruments.
Yeah.
You know, piano, cello, violin, and it's all right. It can be fun.
It's a really good bonding time for everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you've done all these different plays. What was the first play you ever did at the Crighton?
That would be Robin Hood.
Okay.
Yeah.
With Bravo? Well, actually, with Bravo, that would be Crichton Kids. Or no?
No. I've never done Crichton Kids.
Really? Okay.
I was with Missoula Children's Theater.
Okay, right.
And I was part of the Merry Band.
Okay.
It took me, I think, 3 years with Missoula to be cast as not a boy. Yeah. No, in Snow White one time.
Right.
I was a dwarf, so I had to have all the facial hair and everything. And afterwards, we always got to eat.
Right.
Kind of tradition.
Hmm.
I got a lot of funny looks.
Right.
Little, 11-year-old walking around.
Yeah, but you're a kid. It's okay. It's okay, right?
they can kind of figure it out.
Right. So, were you a tomboy or no?
I like to think I was.
Right.
I mean, I climbed trees.
Sure,
I was outside barefoot all the time. So, yeah, I was a tomboy.
Mm-hmm. Kind
of evolved into, I guess, a little bit more of a girly girl.
Right.
But I'll always have my tomboy roots.
So you did 3 years of Missoula. So what was the first play you did with the Players?
The first show I did with the Players was A Christmas Carol, Scrooge and Marley.
Michael and Carol probably weren't in that version.
I think y'all were.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
y'all were.
Okay. All right, so that was the first time that you did something. What did you play in there?
I had 3 different roles.
Right.
I was part of chorus. I was his little sister Fan.
Right.
And then I was the kid at the end with the turkey.
Okay, so I think we were all together that first time. I don't think I was in it. I don't know what I ended up doing, but
I think Carolyn was one of the thieves.
You know what? I think I was backstage. I know I was backstage. No, I was a backstage person because when Bonnie was in that one, right?
I think.
Remember she was, and she had to be. She was a ghost, and she was on this ladder.
Yes.
And I had to push her on stage to exactly the point that Becky wanted.
Really?
Yeah, at a certain time, so it looked like she was floating. The light was just on her. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I remember that one.
We did very well.
Yes, we did. We always talk about different shows where we never seem to be ready. Mm-hmm. And I remember Family Night still painting the set.
Yes.
So Mr. Tom was up there, and we're painting the windows. You remember?
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. Yep, been there, done that. Okay, so that was the first one you did. Mm-hmm. What other was the next show after that?
After that, I kind of tried to stick to the Christmas ones,
right?
Just because of the school year.
Sure.
And eventually that just became too much, so now I do summer shows.
Right.
But I did that, and then Miracle on 34th Street.
Yes, Mr. Tom. Yep.
Then I did Teahouse of the August Moon.
Yes, that was a good one. Yes.
Scrooge, the musical, which got transferred over to Owen.
Right.
And then after that, I think I took a break for
because that probably was just Music Man after, right?
Yeah, and then it was was it? Yeah, then
Music Man would have been last year, yeah.
And then now Cinderella. But every year I do the Missoula shows.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm here every year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do a really good job.
They do.
1 week, get in there, everybody knows their parts, learn it, and, it's obviously well scripted, but no, they do a good job.
I think it really shows you how much your brain can handle in just a few days' time. Like, you would never expect to be able to memorize a show in a week, but by the end of the week, you've kind of memorized the whole show.
Right.
So...
Well, there are certain formulas, right? I mean, they kind of line people up, and people usually, say things usually in order, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not always, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. There might be a whole lineup of, say, 15 or 16 kids. Yes. I say kids, but, and then they'll say their line in order, right? So you kind of know when it's coming.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what they usually have us do is we for auditions, we get in a giant circle with everybody auditioning. Right. And they just go down the line and have you say things like, I'm Sachi Tanaka, 16 years old. And so they can kind of get a feel for you. Right. So what you can handle and what you can't, Yeah, what emotions you can portray and what you can't. So the auditioning process is long and it's tedious, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun? Yeah. Have you taken acting classes or no? No. No? Do you have any particular, obviously you've worked with a lot of different actors, different styles or techniques that you use to get into character? Not really. Not really? Not really. I have a playlist on my iPod that is kind of like pre-game music. Right. So it kind of gets me in the zone. Gets you in the zone, okay. And I just focus. Well, you seem to have that. I mean, most, there are people that have a natural talent. You seem to have the natural talent. So even without actually studying it, you seem to have that. But you said we always talk about the zone, right? Yeah. They're in the zone. Not really in the zone. Sometimes you just come in and you're just completely off. Yep. So I've had those days plenty of times. Do you have a favorite actor or actress that you follow? Busy. I'm a really big John Cusack fan. Really? Yeah. More of his music stuff, but I love Frank Sinatra. Oh, you're a Sinatra fan. I'm a big Sinatra fan. Early years, late years, it doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter to me. I love Sinatra. So that's interesting. How did you get into that? Did you hear it as growing up, or? No. Actually, I heard a song on a TV show. I was like, I really like that. Right. I want to listen to that some more. But it was a cover. So then I listened to the original. Right. That was last summer. Mm-hmm. No, 2 summers ago. And I just got hooked. Right. That's wild. That's funny because I guess his son sings or something like that, but Yeah. But the original Sinatra, how about that? No, my mom came home one day from work. Right. And I was just like, I have fallen in love with Frank Sinatra. He can do no wrong. Why did he have to die? And your mom said? She was just like, well, that's great. Classy music. Right. At least I don't mind listening to that. Yeah, exactly. No, my mom and I, we get along pretty well with music. Mm-hmm. We listen to, like, the Beatles. Sure. And, my dad and I like the Righteous Brothers. Okay. And so, we like older music. Do you go to concerts or not? This is no. Actually, I've never been to a real concert. Okay. I've been to, like, shows and all, but... Well, what shows? Just kind of like little bands, like small town bands that not a lot of people know of. Mm-hmm. So, nothing big. Right. What about theater shows? Do you see stuff at Tuts, or... I don't really... Don't get a chance to? No, anything you want to? I don't get a chance to. Right. There are a lot of shows that... that are great there, and I would love to go see, and I love the players that are in them, but just no time. Right. So, I usually stick to the Crighton and the Owen. Kind of interesting. You sound more like a doer. Anyway, we've talked. I talked to Caleb and to Zach, and asked them. It's not that they don't want to see shows. Yeah. But when they do, they get hypercritical because they're used to doing. They're used to doing, and so you're not thinking about enjoying the show. You're thinking about, oh, that was a poor choice they made, or why the heck did they move there? That looks like blocking, or that. That's what they say. So they don't really enjoy going. Yeah. Or, and I feel really bad for thinking this because I've been in this position before. I know how hard it is to do it on a quick time. But I'll sit there and I'm just like, that was a 30-second scene change. I feel like I've just wasted my life in this show. And then I feel like a horrible person. Oh, because you know what it takes. The 30 seconds, it could be, something could have gone wrong. Maybe it really takes that long. You don't know. Exactly. Like, I've been in some really difficult scene changes where, you know, people have almost broken toes, and it takes that 30 seconds, and that's you going at your fastest.
You know what it's most apparent is when you have a video of a show, live show. And you know that it's necessary, but when you're watching those 30 seconds of blackout, you're like, what the heck are they doing? And you know it, and the problem is you know it. Yes. You know exactly what's going on. It's like, this is interminable. This
is why I can't watch recordings of my shows.
Well, part of it, we'll talk about that too,
I'll critique myself.
Right.
It's just like, why did I say that line that way? What was I thinking? You know, why didn't I move then?
You're going to find this about this as well. You're going to find all these annoying habits. I find it about myself as well. And you're like, why did I say that? Why did, you know, I didn't realize. I always, like Zach, for instance, he touches his face. I don't think he even realizes it. Yes. And he was doing it. I don't know if he was nervous or not, but he was doing it a lot. And I can edit some of that out. Okay. I can edit out my nervous, you know, brain farts and that kind of stuff. I can do some of that. But some of it is like, oh man, I can't believe I said that.
You see, whenever I get nervous, and I've noticed I've done it a lot already, sorry. I touch my hair.
That's a typical girl thing. You know, you adjust hair.
Yeah.
And, you know, for guys, I guess for me, my glasses keep falling. But okay, fine. So I'll push them up. Or you can use, you can do that too. Speech patterns are really annoying. But hey, I think it's important that you realize it. Mm-hmm. Then you can go from there. If you don't realize it, it's harder to fix.
Yeah.
You know?
Once you realize it, you can already have a block to start from.
When you go to college, what do you want to study? Not that it matters right now.
No, I was just having a conversation about this with my friend.
Yeah.
Kind of torn. You know, I've grown up in theater.
Sure.
Always wanted to do this. You know, I've always wanted to major in musical theater and move off to New York and start my life there.
Kind of like Jenny, well, I guess who else is, we know two people. Melody Gray is going to do the same thing. She's there now trying to make it go, you know, go there.
You know, recently I've started thinking more about chemistry. Going with analytical chemistry. If I have the means to do it and I have the guts and the support to do it, I would like to go to a technical college in New York. But, you know, I also want to stay close to home, kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda. So A&M is always an option.
Well, that's right. Well, A&M has a great chemistry program.
They really do.
They have one of the best chemistry programs around. And we've talked about this, you know, like I said with Michael and other folks, is that if you have a good base, and hopefully you're happy doing it, then you've got something to support yourself. If you still want to do the musical theater, or any kind of theater, or any of the arts for that matter, at least you've got something to fall back onto. And I don't mean waitering and other, right? You have a real job. But Melody, actually, you know, she's an IT professional. She can make decent money doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
And she enjoys doing it. That's not really her dream, but she can do it and enjoy it. So, and I think that's a good way to go. It's a nice base because the percentages are so low.
Yeah, it's really hard to, you know, make it in acting.
Right.
Really it is.
Right.
But if not, I can always stick with.
Yeah, but I mean, not to discourage people, but just understand.
No, exactly.
The reality, you know, the reality. And I'm sure your parents, being very practical, have reminded you of this, right?
Well, actually, my parents want to see me go down musical theater path.
Really?
Yeah. They seemed a little bit more relieved whenever I brought up chemistry.
Right.
But no, they're supportive with anything I do.
Good.
Almost anything I do.
Well,
as supportive as a parent can be.
Well, yeah. Well, I said when I finish Jenny's interview, you need to check hers out because we talked extensively about Broadway.
Yes.
She thought this is for the second time to go back to Broadway, and so she's got some tips that, you know, she's a lot more comfortable doing it this go. I mean, you know, she knows what, you know, what not everybody's out to get her. She knows what to expect, and you know, it's day in, day out, you know, auditioning. She's gotten used to that. She had an interesting tip about she doesn't go dressed for the audition because there's an order which they call the audition, you know, the people that are auditioning. Usually those in equity first, and then the non-equity, right? Well, by the time they get to the non-equity folks, it could be in the afternoon. So you could have been up since 6 a.m, right? Waiting.
Yeah.
So she just goes completely comfortable, but ready to change, you know, and even perhaps ready to get some food or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
And then when she knows she's getting closer, then she can go warm up, maybe even back at her apartment, say at 2 p.m, so that when she has her audition, she's
She's
on. Not too warm, not, just been waiting, and gets into clothes then. So again, it's like, wow, that's a great tip. If you know that you're gonna, instead of getting dressed at 4 a.m. and then being that for the entire day, Really, and then sometimes they don't even call you. And sometimes they don't even call you because they haven't finished the equity folks yet.
And those clothes aren't always comfortable.
That's right, exactly. So it was kind of things like that, which was really nice, to hear. And she was glad to pass that on. But anyway, yeah, it'd be worth doing that. But that's cool. Mm-hmm. What shows do you want to do that you haven't done yet?
Top of my list, Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I've been in love with it for 7 years now. Mm-hmm. And my middle name is Christine, so I feel like I was born...
You need to play Christine?
I feel like I was born to play Christine. I mean, we're both brunettes.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, you gotta respect it. I've seen the show live twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where have you seen it?
The Majestic in San Antonio.
Okay.
And then another theater in Houston.
Okay.
But I would like to do that. Mm-hmm. Some of the more... Rodgers and Hammerstein's shows.
Yeah, right. That you haven't done. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Oklahoma.
Yeah, people have mentioned that a few times. Like, I haven't done Oklahoma in a while. Okay. It's funny thing is, that was the first musical I was exposed to. And
really?
So, of course, being the first musical and being from Oklahoma, of course, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Until you hear another one, like South Pacific. So, ooh, I really like that. Because they talk about, prejudice, but it's got some great music. Yeah. It's got multiple parts. And so it's like, ooh, this is great. Until it's the next one. Brigadoon. Ooh, I really like that. I gotta wear a kilt. Well, that's not so bad. It's pretty comfortable. So, and so now you've seen, I can't say I've seen every musical. I've seen a lot of musicals.
Yeah.
But it is amazing after seeing through what, I said, this is like somebody, our theater teacher was telling me, oh man, you gotta see falsetto. It's the best thing since sliced bread. And I saw it, and it was kind of underwhelmed. It's like 44 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, that's a lot of songs.
It's like, this is more music than it is show.
I was like, what? And then, of course, you get to it particular, and the only song that I can remember about, there's a comical song about being Jewish. Yeah, and not being able to play sports. Okay, it was kind of cute. The other ones, I can't remember. It was
The other ones are just kind of moot.
It's okay, to each his own. I mean, to write a musical is a lot. We've had friends that have written musicals that were intended for Broadway. Didn't make it, of course, but have the T-shirt. Been there, done that.
Woohoo! I think you have to have a certain kind of mind to do things like that. I honestly think those people, in my world, in my book, are considered some of the geniuses of the world. Because, I mean, you think you're imagining, like, X amount of people doing X amount of things.
Right.
And especially music composers for musicals, they can hear the different voices.
So they hear it in their head.
Exactly.
This is amazing, yeah.
It's not schizophrenia.
No, they actually
different
hear it.
Voices.
Right, no, but they hear it. They don't have to actually play it.
Exactly.
They can hear it, and then they can, I always think there was a story of Mozart. You look out, he would write the music, not one mistake, not one erasure.
And then he
Perfect.
would, then he would play it.
Yes, and then he would play it.
And then he would play it.
And because he heard it in his head. Do you compose?
I don't compose. I play instruments, though.
Okay.
I teach myself piano. And that's my primary.
Right. You said you didn't get it. You just went to Japan, right?
Yes.
But you didn't get a chance to see theater there. But
no,
you must know about it, about their styles.
Not really.
No.
No. From what I've seen, Japanese theater isn't necessarily my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, we're westernized. That's the problem. We think differently. We're about entertainment. Irish theater, as most European theater, is mostly about issues. I'm not saying they don't do entertainment, but
primarily.
Right, primarily. We're about entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay. Every now and then we can see a black box production, but you know what? You're not going to get a whole lot of people going
exactly.
to it, right? If we do, but unfortunately, that's the thing actors like to do, right?
Yes.
They want to do the dramatic part,
the
serious part,
because it's such a cliche actor thing to do. Just like
actor thinking.
Go into the zone.
Oh dear. Well, hopefully you get to do some of the musicals that you talked about. And if you get to musical theater, like I said, or NYU, or if you go, it should be good. I know you do well.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Question of the day. Yes. If heaven exists, what do you want God to say when you get to the pearly gates? I
don't even know.
He's going to look at you and say, wait a minute, We were looking for you. We need a soprano. You can sing soprano, right?
Yes.
There you go. There
exactly.
it is. We got an opening. Just get over there.
I think I would want him to say, welcome home.
Most people is the welcome home.
Oh, dang it,
give you a
cliche.
But that's okay. And they give you a hug and go in there and said, you know what, we could use some set building too. Yeah, we need some help, but yeah, we need some singers.
We're gonna need a really fast scene change coming up here. Yes. So less than 30 seconds.
or better yet, you know what? We're short of girls, which never seems to be the trouble
in
theater, right?
Trouble.
That's right.
Especially
we're short
musical
of
theater.
We need a Christine. You wouldn't, by any chance, want to do that.
Sure, I can hit that C. Absolutely.
I just happen to have a copy of the script.
You know,
I
actually have all the costumes already.
Right.
So, and I mean, I've already got the script memorized. It's no big deal. Sure.
Anyway, thanks for being with us.
Anytime.
Right.
Yeah.